Perfect. Welcome, everyone. I'm super excited to have you guys on today. What is it? It's May 28th, so a couple days left of May. Next week, we'll be into June, which is just nuts. 6 weeks until Summit, too. Like, we are busy going on right now. But today we have a special guest, like the one, the only superstar, Micah Folsom, said she'll come talk to you and answer your questions. So take advantage of this, guys. Micah seriously is the best of the best. So, Micah, why don't you start, kind of kick it off, tell us a little bit about yourself, kind of how you got started with Beachbody, and then full circle of where you're at today.
Okay, yeah. So I started coaching, it'll be 6 years in July. And I actually got introduced to Beachbody like 10 years ago. So I got 10-minute trainer off an infomercial, did that when my daughter was like 7 weeks old. We were living in a hotel in Florida, and I was like, okay, I can do this in like this little space I have, and I don't have to take my daughter anywhere. We had no family out there or anything, so it worked. I got results. I then ordered Insanity, kicked my trash, but I loved it. And I did Insanity off and on for like 4 years, and I never finished the program because I'm a loser. But so I would get through the first month and was like, okay, this is awesome, blah, blah. And then I'd die off the second month and I would quit because it got really hard. So I had already been talking about the programs, just kind of, I had gotten results. I loved them. And it was after my second baby that at that time, I was a full-time wedding photographer. My husband was in the middle of vet school in Oklahoma, so we had since moved. And I just needed something new. I was burnt out of Insanity, sick of quitting on myself. And I was just scrolling Instagram one day and found this girl. I think I was actually looking up hashtags. And I was looking up hashtags. I don't remember what I was searching, but I saw this girl and she posted a picture of her abs. And I was like, oh, I want abs. That looks rad. So she was posting about a challenge group. And she actually, this is funny, I've never told this part. She was doing like a $25 gift card or something when you ordered. And I was like, sweet. And we were like poor at that point. Like I was like, a $25 gift card, that's legit. Well, I never got my gift card. I should probably talk to her about this, but she never sent it to me. But anyways, so I got a challenge pack, got into her group as a customer, and fell in love with Shakeology. That was what kind of sold me on everything. I was like, I need this. I need to keep using it. Well, it was like a quarter of our entire month's grocery bill because we were super frugal. And my husband's like, no way. And I'm like, babe, I need this. Like, I'm going to do it. And I'm kind of a brat. I'm like, when I decide I'm going to do it, I'm just going to do it, whether he says yes or no. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. But in order to offset like the arguments, I'm like, I'll just help a few people and cover my shakes. So I didn't know what coaching was. I didn't know how it worked. I didn't know it was like a business. I didn't know anything. I just knew that I could get a discount on my shakes, and if I helped some people, I could get some money from it. And so the day I signed up, I did this really awful post that was like, I'm a Beachbody coach, and I'm going to do a group. And I was already feeling good because I was doing Les Mills Combat, and then T25 was actually launching like 2 weeks later. And so that's what I leveraged to get my business going, was like, okay, I'm doing this program, but I'm going to be doing this. Do it with me. It's 25 minutes. People were familiar with Insanity. And so I used that to launch my business, and I just got a bunch of my friends on board. And actually what's funny is all of the girls, because I was a college athlete, I played volleyball. And so I had a lot of acquaintances and people that I was friends with on social media that were active, that had been active, that kind of were like me, that had fallen into that motherhood funk and whatever. So I was like thinking of all my friends that I could pull from that. And like all of the ones that I thought would do it with me said no. And so immediately I was like, okay, well, this is harder than I thought. Like I thought for sure all of these girls would be on board because this is rad and it's fun. Yeah, they didn't. And so for a second, I'm like, okay, this is kind of hard. And, but then I got other people, like random people, because I was super proactive about sharing my journey. that people started coming out of the woodworks when I would post about a group. People that I hadn't talked to in forever would be like, oh, I want info. And I'm like, okay, I would have never talked to you about it, but sweet. And so that was eye-opening to me, because at the beginning I was super afraid of inviting people. I was like on that scale. I was on the extreme end of like, I don't want to be annoying. I don't want to bug people. I don't want to sell people crap. I just want to share my journey, and then the people will come to surface if it's interesting to them. So I went all in with sharing my journey and being super authentic in just what I was going through and inviting people to join me on the journey I was on. And that's how I built for the first, honestly, couple years. Like, I would only send invites. I don't recommend this. I would only send invites at like the new year, when I knew for sure that everyone had some sort of New Year's resolution. I'm like, okay, I can not be weird if I invite them right now, because I know they're at least thinking about it. And then the rest of the year, I'd like go quiet and just do calls to action and let people come. Yeah, I don't recommend doing that. And I tell my coaches not to do that now either, because I missed out on so many people. But that was just my own fear and my own like limiting beliefs. And obviously personal development like changed everything for me. And yeah, so that's how everything got started. And I just honestly, I'm like thinking back to how things have evolved over 6 years. I'm like, I have not done anything special other than I'm freaking consistent. Like, I've shown up every single day for 6 years. I have worked out 5 to 6 days a week, every single week for 6 years. I drink my shake almost every single day for 6 years. I go from one program to the next program to the next program. I'm always in a program. I don't do anything cool or fancy other than I'm really consistent, and I preach consistency with my team and simplicity, and really trying to simplify the business, and whether or not they do it is on them. Obviously, we all know how that goes, but that's how we've created a double superstar team and multi six-figure earners within our downline, and that's it. I'm really not that cool.
No, that's incredible. I seriously have the chills from that. So thank you for sharing. Okay, guys, what questions do you have? Take yourself off mute, write them in the chat. This call is for you. So I'll let you guys start.
Okay. I'm so excited because this is my first live call. I am always in Japan, so I can never be on these. And I'm just so excited. And I'm so excited it's Micah too. Okay, my biggest question is, my journey looked a lot different than yours and a lot of people in the network, where I didn't come in having any experience with the program. And it took me a while to even try it, which is like embarrassing to say. But I was doing BBG and I was like, look, I'm happy with this, happy with my results there. I love this coaching opportunity, so I'm going to share that. And I invited a lot to that, so that kind of like kickstarted my journey. But I find that I bring a lot of coaches in that are similar to me, that obviously want the coaching business. They want to build an income. They are passionate about health and fitness. And I do start them off with the fitness journey. Like, I make sure to do that. Like you, kind of your experience, you fix your mistakes that you did when you were a brand new coach. So I set that standard. But I think our team is just in this phase of, I probably have maybe 1 or 2 coaches consistently adding business builders to their team. And like people that are actually doing something, not just like, oh, I want to work the business and then, nothing happens. And I just feel like I'm in a totally different kind of ball game as my team, because I'm adding a lot of people and I have a huge rhythm with that. I've built it up over 3 years. So what would be your best suggestion for helping coaches maybe find their first few business builders if it's in the boot camp? And then also outside of that, how do you encourage like your brand new diamonds? A lot of my girls are building it themselves. How do you help them find like their first 3 to 4 business builders that are actually hitting Success Club and want to stick around for the long term?
Yeah. Believe me, that's a struggle. Like, duplicating leadership, I feel like, is the hardest thing in the business. So for me, I feel like I have some girls that kind of just, they have the confidence in the coaching aspect of it, and that's why they talk about the business, and that's why they attract it. So just thinking about my girls specifically, like my girls that struggle getting business builders, they don't talk about coaching. They have no confidence whatsoever in mentoring someone to success. And so they talk about the boot camp and they get challengers and they hit Success Club that way. which is fine, but at some point you have to level up and you have to gain confidence in the opportunity. You have to gain confidence in yourself as a leader, no matter if you're an Emerald coach or you're a 10-star Diamond. Like, there's still 5-stars that have skeleton organizations that struggle with leadership. So one of the things that my success partner, Tara Violet, well, we don't really work that much together anymore, but I still love her. So early on, we were success partners. She struggled hardcore with this. She could hit Success Club 40 with challengers, but she couldn't recruit or build her to save her life. And what she did that flipped the switch for her was she would watch success story after success story after success story of coaches talking about how coaching changed their life. Not the programs, not the challenge group, but coaching is what changed their life. And just hearing that for her built enough confidence that then she started to talk about it more. I know for me, coaching is what changed my life. Yes, it was a program that planted the seed, but I quit on myself for 4 years over and over and over and over again until I became a coach. And coaching was that built-in accountability, that built-in reason to show up for myself so that I could show up for others. So I had that belief at the beginning that you don't need my challenge group. You need coaching. Like, it wasn't my challenge group that would change your life. You could show up and peace out really quickly and go on and live a sucky life for the rest of your life. But if you coach with me and you get into my community and you get into these habits and you build these lifestyle changes and then you make money doing it, okay, that's going to drive your ASS to show up, you know? So that was an early conviction that I had, that my girls that get that early on see success in recruiting builders. Lots of times it takes people a long time for whatever reason to like kind of flip that switch. So the earlier you can flip that switch in your coaches and help drive that belief and drive that just that conviction. And we have a lot to do with it. The way we talk about it, the way we share about it, the way we instill that belief early, the more confident they're going to be talking about it. And then to take it a step further, simplifying the process of then what do they do once they do get a coach? Because I think that holds people back a lot. They're like, okay, well, sure, I can talk about it, but then I have no clue what to do once I get someone that wants to do anything, because I'm not seeing the success I need to see yet in order to have someone like mentor them to success. So having a simple action plan or simple steps for them to take and duplicate within their downline simplifies the process as well. So that's probably my biggest advice, is just like instilling that belief in them, but then also providing a simple action plan for them to mentor their coaches and not feel overwhelmed, or they can feel kind of like they're locked and loaded, ready to go.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So you said a simple plan for them to get started. What is that simple plan? And is it the same plan that you use to get like your SC1 right off the beginning, stuff like that?
So I actually, I just pulled my top leaders together last week and I was like, hey guys, we've got to figure this crap out, because I'm like, it's like this mystery. I'll get some coaches that come in, plug in, do the stuff and get results. And then I'll have some coaches that have the same game plan, have the same getting started tool, and they're like, I'm lost, I'm confused. And I'm like, why? Like, how? I don't understand the difference. You're doing all the same things as Coach C that is crushing it right now. So I think it depends. I mean, I feel like you can have a game plan in place, but no matter what, you're gonna have to like then handhold and like lock arms and figure out, okay, where are you at? What are you struggling with? How can I help you help your one? Like, let's start with one. Who are your girlfriends you would call when you're excited about doing something new? You know, so I think really just simplifying getting your SC1 thing, that's simply, you don't need to know anything right now, girlfriend. Like, you started, now go find a friend to do it with you. You don't need to know anything. And I think that alone, them hearing that, they're like, oh, okay, I can actually go talk to my people before I finish the training. Well, yeah, like, please go talk to your friends. So I think just getting that out there early, number one. And number two, the game plan that I have for my people is very, so I've changed it like a million different times, but hold on. I have my new coach training now is within my PS team page. So before, we've done it a million different ways. We've had a training site. We ran New Coach University in the Challenge Tracker app every single month. We've, what else? We've done like training groups on Facebook. So I don't know, beginning of the year, maybe. No, I don't know when we shifted it over, but we put it into a unit in my PS team page, and it's in our main team page. So anyone in our downline has access to it, and it's just there. So they get plugged in. I obviously welcome them. I also have a new coach email sequence that goes out to them that I've implemented that has been a game changer, because I was losing some of that one-on-one touch when you're bringing in, I'm not a big recruiter at all, but even so, when you're bringing in 10 people will fall through the cracks unless you're like really like honed in on it. So the second they sign up, they opt into the email sequence. The first email is like the welcome coach email, gives them access to the Facebook team pages, gives them a new coach welcome packet that just kind of has like the getting started stuff. And then every day or every other day for like the first month, and then as it goes on, it kind of spreads out to like 3 or 4 days. It's kind of just checking in with some important encouragement. More than anything else, it's like a reminder, like, you can do this. I know you're probably overwhelmed right now. That's normal. Like, and I'm kind of just like that sounding board when they're feeling overwhelmed and all of them are about to like freak out and cancel. So it's just kind of, and it goes through like the first month. So that's been helpful. And what I did was I created it for my PS coaches that has the links to all of our PS stuff and is referring them back. Tell me your goals. Tell me this. Tell me blah, blah, blah. But then I also duplicated it and created an entire downline sequence. So any of my coaches have the downline link that they can have their coaches opt in on. And instead of it giving them my PS stuff, it's giving them the main team page, and then it's like, reach out to your coach and get plugged into their team calls. Reach out to your coach and get plugged into blah, blah, blah. So that's been super nice too, because that's one of the locked and loaded, like my coaches feel a lot more confident when they have that as a resource. So yeah, and that's basically it. And then I'm just kind of checking in on them. I have them in a new coach thread. So I do message threads that are rank based. So I don't do a monthly. I do all of my new coaches are in one thread until they get to Emerald or quit. They don't leave the thread. So that thread has like 75 people in it. And obviously some of them are MIA because they don't do anything. And some of them are very active until they move on to the next thread. So that's my flow. And that's kind of just what I do and what I teach my coaches to do. I saw some questions to come through. Yeah, so it's ConvertKit. Melissa's one of my girls. And my top leaders lots of times will duplicate and then do their own thing. So they'll add in their own stuff and whatever, but they at least have like a template of what they want to do and they can use it or not. So that's kind of just a resource that I'm like, hey, I'm doing this for me. And that's what I've done for anything in the business. If I do it for me, I make it for my coaches and then I say use it or not, but here's the resource. So yeah, that's something that we have that has been super nice. In the email series for any downline new coach, getting it from you. Okay. So if someone opts into the email sequence, it's still coming from me. It's not coming from their coach. Still coming from me, but it's kind of just like here's an additional mentorship, like from our upline or whatever. So it's still coming from me, but at the end, like for my PS coaches, it'll be like, hey girl, tell me your goals, blah, 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 blah. It'll be like, hey, reach out to your coach and share your goals with them. Create a game plan and blah, blah, blah. So it's just like referring them back. I don't want to hear from our entire downline. Like, I'm sorry. I want them to talk to their coach and like work with them, So that's what I did for that. And then I have, along with that, I created with my leaders, we created a Fit Boss. That's what I named it. Basically an email sequence for Emerald, that gap between Emerald and Diamond when people sit there for like 89 years. We created an email sequence for Emeralds. So it's more action oriented. what I was learning was, okay, my people know all the things. They're simply just not doing all the things. They're doing some of the things some of the time, and that's not how you create success in the business. So basically the Emerald and Beyond sequence that we created was helping them create habits that are implementable for the rest of your life. So it's like that sounding board, like every Wednesday, it's a sponsorship drill down check. Or do we do that Sunday? I think it's Sunday. Did I do it Sunday? Every Sunday, we're like, hey, go through your drill down, check your crap, see where you're at, see what you need moving forward. So it's like these things that leaders, it's like a no-brainer. You just start to do these things. But for whatever reason, most coaches don't. And that's what I've learned is what I think is common sense and what people would do if they were actually serious about building business, they're still not doing. So it's like a 6 or 8 week sequence, and it's every Friday, Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, I think. I don't even remember. It's 4 days a week, and they get an email, and there's kind of actionable things with a little bit of mentoring things, with a little bit of like, just do this today because this is what you should be doing with your life things. And that's been helpful too. I've gotten some really good feedback because we just barely launched that out, like, I don't know, last month. So no one's even gone all the way through it yet, but the ones that are doing it are like, okay, this is super eye-opening of the things like I wasn't doing at all. I'm like, okay, good. So yeah, just stuff like that. Things as a leader, just kind of leveling up and being like, okay, how can I duplicate what I'm doing with everyone else? And how can I make it as easy as possible for them? That's kind of been like my mindset around leadership, is like, just share what I'm doing, simplify the process of success for them, and then support them and encourage them until they figure their shiz out. That's basically it.
Questions? I have a question then. So tell me about your success starters. You have quite a few of those rolling in. So what are you doing to get your team on board with that?
I've actually sucked with success starters this year. I think we've only had one. So yeah, I've been more mindful of that this past month. But honestly, what I'm finding is my girls that like hit Success Club month 1 and then sometimes month 2 and then phase out month 3 and have no more people, they're simply not expanding and connecting with their cold market soon enough. While everyone really should have a warm market where they can help 9 people in a 3-month period, lots of people don't, or they aren't confident enough to talk to their warm market people, you know, like as it kind of gets to month 3. So I've been really, really, really just trying to help my girls see the importance and the value in expanding immediately. Like, not once you run out of people, but like now. Start to expand, start to connect. And then obviously the more they share their journey, the better results they get. That's going to help those people come in. So it's kind of just that perfect storm of doing the simple things. Some will, some won't. The ones who will hit it. And the ones who won't. So that's all there is. Success starters is simply applying the things consistently from day one, not like once they gain confidence in 5 months, you know?
Okay, so what about your leadership development points then, getting your team to rank events past Diamond?
Yeah, I've sucked with that too. No, we have like, we're like ranked 49 right now. Like, we are not doing that awesome this year, but we have so much in the pipeline, pipeline, it makes me pissed off when I think about it. So that's a whole nother story. Like, getting people to actually apply themselves to the goals that they have is a whole nother, Kate, you're so funny. It's a whole nother story. So yeah, it's really just for my girls, like, it's ridiculous how many diamonds I have that have been diamond, twiddling between diamond and 1-star for like 3 years. And I'm like, there is no reason to be diamond for 3 years. When you're still showing up, like, it's not like you've pieced out. Like, you are still showing up and you're still diamond. What are you doing with your life? So we're trying to like hone in on that stuff right now because that's just silly. But really, it's leadership and it's confidence. It comes back to that 100% of the time. Lots of them simply don't have the confidence to mentor coaches. Lots of them are still trying to figure their own crap out. And I just have to laugh or else I scream. So that's what it is right now. But yeah, I mean, it's dumb. It's dumb. So leadership is empowering them to duplicate the simple things, and that they either will or they won't. And you can't build this business by yourself. So at some point you have to learn how to mentor other people to success. And for whatever reason, it takes some people way longer than it should. I didn't give you any action tips on that. Just maybe some reassurance that you don't suck. You don't suck if your coaches are not doing anything right now.
I have a question. When you were pushing for Superstar either time, would you find that you had like large clumps of girls that kind of all pushed together? Like after Summit last year, my team pushed from like 1-star to 7, which was like a massive jump because I just had girls that were like all in, let's go, let's push, let's do this. Is that kind of what you found with like your bigger like Superstar, jumps? Where did you have larger groups?
Yep, 100%. So I never like push for Superstar until we have, like, for instance, the first time we went Superstar, I think we went from 8 to 15. And it was like, I was really needing to push for 10. And I was needing, I think, 2 or 3 diamonds on one leg in order to like get it even. And I was like, well, if we're gonna get that, then we're gonna be like right around 13. So we might as well like rally the troops and see who wants to run. So we did that. So every single time we pushed, it's like, okay, I make sure the girls have a diamond gold 8 that lines up with when we would push.
I don't know, honey.
And then once I talk to them individually, I'm like, okay, we're going to do a big team push. We're going to go for this goal and we're going to do it together. And then I put them in a thread or a group or whatever. And we have a deadline. We have something we're pushing for. I always have some type of like retreat or something tied to it. So there's something bigger than just like getting to diamond. But yeah, that's been what I did with both of them, with both times we pushed, because there's just so much power and energy in doing it together and locking arms, and it's way more fun. So if I relied on like it just happening, like people just happen to pop at the right time, like they would never happen, ever. So that's what I definitely recommend is like if you're going for your next kind of goal to whatever, 10-star or whatever, like rally the troops, talk to them individually first and find out who wants it for themselves and then put them together and make it fun and have something fun to push for.
Okay, guys, any questions? You guys are quiet today.
I have a question. What do you do for your coaches that are like stuck at Success Club 4 or they just need 2 more points? Do you do anything specific? I've done the pods. I've done, stuff like that. Those don't work very well for my team. So do you do anything different?
The only thing I do is personally message them. And I just say, hey girl, how are things going? Wanted to check in with you. Like, do you have a solid game plan for your May goals? Like, and I'm doing that today. So I obviously like beginning, like with a week left of the month, I'm like, okay, it's rally time. Let's go, blah, blah, blah. And I like give them a game plan and I give them all the things. But until they get that message from me, lots of them they still don't do anything. And I don't know why. This is still something we're trying to figure out, why you would become your own boss and then not do jack shiz unless you have someone micromanaging you. I don't understand that. But that is what it is. That's how so many people are. They have the employee mindset. So just personal touches and just being like, girlfriend, I believe in you. Like, do not finish the freaking month at 4. Okay? Like, let's do this. Let's find one more. And just having you like in their ear in a positive way, not pushy, but just encouraging and like, let's do this. What can I do to help? Where do you need? Helps a lot of them. And some people obviously still don't make it happen, but you would at least get a couple more come through than would have otherwise if you didn't reach out and do that, which is so annoying. Oh my gosh. Yes. That is such a great one. Yeah, I don't get that. I don't understand people. I'm like, I would much rather have no one tell me what to do ever. Like, don't tell me what to do. I do what I want. But lots of people are like, just tell me what to do. I'm like,
So, okay, I have another question. So you're superstar diamond and 2 CBCs and you hold it. Like you're superstar and you hold it. And a lot of times coaches hit it and they fall off 2 weeks later. So how are you getting your diamonds to stay there too?
Well, we've actually dropped in my second CBC. We're at 13 right now, which is really annoying. But for the most part, we hold. And I think maybe Cozy and Melissa should answer this because I don't really know what I do. I have a very solid, like every single Wednesday in our leader page, I'm posting like sponsorship drill down check. Where are you at? Check your crap. Make sure you're solid. Like I'm very on top of them as far as like take care of your shiz. But also I talk a lot about like diamond is a mindset. Like do not do the in and out thing. That is so discouraging and so like disempowering when you're flipping in between and like diamond and ruby and diamond and emerald and and now I'm a coach. Sweet. So just really helping them see the value in like owning their shiz is something that I kind of instill or try to instill early. And then obviously, I don't know what else I do. I'm kind of just on them. Like in a, like, okay, take care of your crap. Like, you're a leader, you know? What would you guys say, Cozy or Melissa? I don't do anything cool.
I feel like you're just really good at tough love. Like that's something I need to be better at, but you're good at calling people out in a way that is not going to offend them, but like motivate them. Do you know what I mean? And so I think it pushes people to do things out of their comfort zone. It pushes them to like go dream bigger than they would otherwise. And they accomplish more because you believe in them, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, I just thought yours are funny. I reach out personally for sure. Like when I see someone, like I'm on top of our shiz every single week. And obviously like when we're not in qual, I like let them go in and out and kind of learn from it, but I'm still on them. Like, girl, like when are you getting it back? Da-da-da-da. But I'm not like, take care of your shiz, you're gonna drop, you know? But when we're in qual, I'm like, okay, girlfriend, like it is game on. We need you. And I'm not afraid to say that. I'm not afraid to be like, okay, we need you. Like we're going into qual. We need you for this. Where are you at with your left leg or whatever? And they're always on top of it. And I will say, these are the ones that want it, right? I am not messaging my girls that are just kind of like in and out of diamond, but don't give a shiz. I don't rely on them. I don't push them. I don't do anything with them. If they are in, awesome. If they're out, and I better develop a new diamond somewhere else. So that's where we're at in our second CBC is I have a couple girls that have kind of just like, they don't care right now. And if they don't care, then they definitely aren't going to care if we're in qual. But I do have lots of girls that do care if they're part of the team. They do care that they're playing a role. And so I can reach out to those girls if they're in and out and be like, hey girl, like we're coming up on qual. Where are you at with this? And they'll get it back. They'll hustle and sign a coach and apply themselves when they've been checked out for 3 weeks. But there's ones that don't. So that's why like we held double 15 for like 2 years straight. And the last 2 quarters, we haven't gotten it in my second CBC because I just kind of have people that are like in and out. And so I I had to go back to that CBC sponsoring coaches and developing new leadership because I'm not going to rely on people that don't give a crap, you know? So it's just that constant rebuilding and then building people till they're strong enough that you can really rely on them, and then rebuilding around it, and then it's like that back and forth stuff. But that's how I've done it. So yeah, let me see, you said. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, so Cozy said, I feel like you're constantly reminding people of their own goals and things that they have told you and why they want it. That's another big thing. Like when lots of my coaches struggle with pushing their coaches. They're like, I don't want to push my goals on them, and I don't want to. And I'm like, okay, sister, did they sign up because they had goals for themselves? Yes. Once someone shares their goals with you, it is now your job to push them towards their goals. You are not being pushy if you're pushing them towards where they want to go, right? So that gives you, they're opening that door and they're allowing you to help them own up to the shiz they want. Because people aren't going to get there on their own. That's why so many people fail. They just give up on themselves. But if they have someone in their corner that's like, girl, I want your goals for you just as much as you want them for yourself. So let's action plan. Let's get you showing up for yourself. Let's get you on a better game, like a better schedule or a better rhythm or a better whatever, so that we can get you where you want to go. And if they think that's pushy, they're probably not going to ever make it. So it's not worth your time anyways. But if they're going to be like, okay, thank you, I needed that, help me show up for myself, those are the people you want to run with. So they'll rise to the top, and the ones that don't will whittle down, and they'll just stop responding to your messages. Because that has happened also, which is awesome.
I love that. Thank you. Okay, guys, any last questions?
I have a question. Micah, are you finding most of your coaches who are joining you like for the business, or are you bringing them in as challengers and kind of getting them results and then converting them into coaches? What's your—
Both. I still do both. So I'm always huge on converting challengers because I feel like that's just such a natural flow. It's so much easier to work with a challenger that's gotten results, that feels amazing, that is like high on life and wants to share it to the world, right? That's like such an easier process to then have success in the business versus someone that's like, oh, I want to make money. Okay, now I have to figure out how to do Beachbody. Like what? No, that's awkward. And it's going to be way harder for them. So even if I get both people that are interested in the business from the get-go and challengers converting. But what is happening is the people that are interested in the business from the get-go, I am very open about what I do as a coach, what it takes to be successful, what it looks like every single day. So someone coming in, when they're watching my stories, they see what a day in the life looks like. And I'm like, okay, if you want to do this, this is what you do. So they're already familiar with, okay, I got to do a program. I got to drink a shake. I got to meet friends on social media. I got to put myself out there. And so it's still harder than a challenger converting, but it's still possible. So I'm very obviously passionate about the business and coaching, so I talk about it a lot. And so the people that do come in have usually been watching for like years, and they're like, okay, I'm ready to change my life. I'm like, okay, sweet, let's go. I don't know why it took you 3 years, but okay. So that's kind of I get both. Yes, both. I'm really good at answering questions in a really long way.
No, it's so good. Thank you. Okay, anything else? You good? Okay. Well, Gall, thank you, Micah,
Can I say
so
something
much.
really quick, Sid?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
One thing that Micah does that's really awesome that she doesn't talk about very often is she creates things that are very duplicatable. Like you've heard about all the things that she's done recently, but that's how she's all.
Oh, you cut out. I can't hear you now.
Oh shoot, sorry. Because my connection is unstable.
You're good.
But she creates these processes that are so easy to incorporate yourself as a coach. And I think that's why a lot of her coaches become really consistent leaders and they stick around long term, is because they see what it looks like and then they apply it and then they pass it on to their leaders. So it's like very, like you see it happening through her entire downline. Anyway, just wanted to share that.
I like simple for sure. For sure.
Yeah, I think it's simple and it makes them, they don't have to think about it. You know, your brand new coaches come on and the more they have to think and be like, oh, what should I do? And oh, maybe I should start this. And oh, now I'm going to go recreate the wheel and do my own onboarding system. Like that's when the coaches stop and it gets hard and it's not fun anymore. So gold.
Yes, simple is good. But even like we have it about as simple as you can get, and you still get people that just love to overcomplicate crap. Like they just, I don't know, they enjoy making things hard. I'll never understand that. But yeah, I think the easier you can make this, the better. And obviously the hardest part is showing up consistently. What we do every day is easy. It's easy to send a message from your phone. It's easy to push play. It's easy to get a post up. But like you can complicate the crap out of that if you want to, I guess, because some people do. So just really trying to help people see like the distractions and the shiny things aren't what's going to build your business. Like these are the things, the IPAs, the freaking Success Club system tracker, just do the dang thing and you'll be successful. Like it's not hard. So just really trying to get that message loud and clear. I think is the best thing that we can do as leaders, really.
I love it. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Micah. I appreciate you coming on with us today. Thanks everyone else for being here. I'll see you guys next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.